you're gonna be good against the Cho, but bad against everyone else. So take your pick. But now finally, the Freya gets picked up again. Eterna, I have no idea how it took this long.
And that's the big thing. That's a big thing. Sure, the Granger is in the gold lane, but we do have Freya on not Ayanami once again. She did so well in her lane earlier on. And so with the Freya being here, it really is save and grace for them to carry it through from early to mid game in case the Granger lane doesn't work out. How do you protect the Freya in the gold lane is now the question. XP lane, I mean.
I feel like based on what happened in game number 1, they're hoping she doesn't need help. I feel like not Ayanami on this Freya is supposed to grab everyone's attention so that hopefully the Granger gets some breathing room. So I'm thinking they're just hoping her mechanics is going to be enough, but that means Vitality just might make a draft that they just, go to the EXP lane quite a lot of times. But as long as she has that vengeance, the first gank, I think she can survive no problem.
That's why they banned the Valentina. On one side, you already see the Cho being picked up by Team Vitality. Really good at early game rotations, fast clear, really aids in the mid laner. And if they had the Valentina on top of that, I think they would rotate a lot quicker. So the Yve and the Valentina are now out. If they still want to go hands into that kind of strategy, I would also think that the Lilia might be another thing that they want to take out as well.
Yeah, no, honestly, at this point, with what Vitality has, they have many different options in mid, and one of them is definitely that Lilia. But interestingly enough, Vitality, they themselves ban out the Lilia here, so I wonder if they want to go for the Selena. I don't think you necessarily need that. The Phoveas get banned out, which honestly is not a bad pick here because, Phoveas is one of the counters for the Freya. So now for Na'Vi, in terms of their mid pick as well, they need something that can protect themselves so that, doesn't get attacked by the Cho, doesn't get attacked by the Ling. I'm drawing a blank. Are they going to try to force like a Kimmy and then hope they can just move forward all the time? I don't think that's a great idea.
You know what's a hero that we haven't seen this entire series?
What, Valir?
Jushin.
I feel like if anyone uses Jushin, it might be Vitality. Because Zushin for Na'Vi, I'm not so sure they can pick up a lot of heroes here. Cho has a lot of dash, even the Ling has a lot of dash. So
makes sense.
Yeah, I think they're not going to get a lot of value. And now the Alice has been bad. Now, honestly, pretty smart, considering the Alice could still be picked up as a jungler.
That's true. There's still flexibility. Oh my god.
Oh, well.
Actually unreal, by the way.
Yeah.
So actually unbelievable.
The Jushin gets picked up for Na'Vi.
It's kind of like we called it, but also we're like warned against it.
Yeah.
Well,
because it's the only hero that she's picked up that hasn't been used, and I think the Kimmy is a little bit too risky here.
But the thing is now Vitality can pick up the Kimmy because Kimmy does quite well against the Zushin. They can pick up the Gord as well. They pick up the Terizla. We haven't seen Terizla for a while here. Going up against the Frey, you're not going to be winning the lane. You're just going to survive.
Yeah. So what does Cine pick? Selena is still open. You mentioned the Kimmy already. Kagura is another hero that she's utilized in MWI. And it's going to be a Valir.
I mean, you did say one hero we haven't seen is Valir, and
Well,
it works.
it makes sense,
It
right?
makes sense.
Atlas, anti-CC as well for the ult, so it doesn't necessarily have to bring Purify. Up against the Freya, it also makes sense.
And you know that this is going to be a tank, right? You know that Na'Vi is going to be bringing a tank, so that Valir is going to be helping out a lot. Especially you have the carry as well as the Ling. You don't need more damage. You just need some kind of disruption. And now that Akai gets picked up, I feel like this is going to be the final game.
Oh, that's a heavy statement because the reality is for Na'Vi, they are knocking on the door of a second place finish. For Vitality, however, one map away, one win away from securing the 2026 MWI Championship. Can they do it? Can they get the job done? Or will we get one more map? Miracle, get in, let's find out.
The world holds their breath as they see this next game. Already at the door, our defending title champions are so close to getting that trophy. and getting real revenge from what happened in 2024. Na'Vi, they've got what it takes to bring it all the way to the end. But the truth is, if they don't muster up the courage now, if they don't be brave to make the play, I don't know how they will overcome this mountain of a hive mind.
And the Golden Hornets look strong. The Golden Hornets look very convincing. They're coming off of an 11-minute end just earlier for match point. Na'Vi has gone back to their roots, playing utility jungle and having a carry on Ayanami. Freya, specifically the Freya, that got them that convincing win in game number 1.
I'm surprised it took them this long to finally get that Freya back, but at the same time, we've seen the back and forth and the many different strategies that have been utilized. This one feels comfortable to Na'Vi, and I want to see how much this comfort is going to make the difference, because Vitality, even in the early stages of the game, they're still pretty dangerous.
And all comes down to, I think, Viva on the Ling. It's something that we've been talking about a couple of times, right? Viva on utility or on assassins. Which one do you like better? Me personally, I'm always assassin for Viva. And so far on the Ling, she's been fantastic. The Nolan as well. And so far in this game, against an Akai, it's looking okay. But it comes down to that first turtle. If you're able to take it away from the Akai, if you're able to snatch away some more of these jungle creeps, I think we're in for a very similar lead that we saw from last game.
Well, let's take it one step back here, because this is not the only different Ling setup that we've seen. Sometimes they skip first turtle and decide to go instantly for the invade on the opposite side of the map. But really, who can really say what a strong side, weak side anymore? Most of these matchups pretty difficult and skill-based. I would say the EXP makes the most amount of sense for Fumieko to actually be on the losing end, but overall, that's only because of the emblem setup.
So let's see it. Na'Vi, obviously the ones first onto the turtle. This composition is built around neutral objectives. Fumieko's not even for Ayanami is capturing this XP. Vitality, no entrance to this turtle. They've been taking a whole lot of damage already. Cine trying to go and provide some focus. Vivo's waiting in the bush right now. Oh, she steals it away from Keishi. Headbutt at the Tempest of Blades now. Keishi's caught in the flames of Cine. Now the stun as well. Ayanami with first blood under. Navi's been baited out as Chell has already rotated from the gold lane.
Well, this is chaos. Let's go down to the bottom side. Hey, not Ayanami, casually 2v1ing 2 people at once in the middle of that fight and even finding that first blood. But now, with no means out, honestly, it might have cost her the entire laning phase now.
And it's just as we said, just as we assumed. If Vivo can somehow get a lead at the start of the game, this is going to be very dangerous, because it seems like Na'Vi, yes, they have Ayanami, but the main guy who they're looking to snowball in this game is Rihanna the Granger, and she's brought Purify. So that means the Ling's going to have a plenty of good space to dash around and outmaneuver the Granger.
We'll see how long they're going to be able to do that here. I think Na'Vi, they're not completely out of this just yet, but Chell has consistently beaten Rian in lane. It's outside of the lane where things get a little dicey, and because of that, Vitality walk into enemy territory and they have an amazing read on the jungle path that Na'Vi have. Now it's oppression from this point onwards.
And that's the clear speed diff. Something that we brought up a couple of times after the patch for the utility jungles, the Fredge and the Bakshas and the Akai, but in the group stage, even through the knockout stage, we've seen the Akai still get their hands on neutral objectives. That's the thing. Now that it's taken away from him, you can really see that gap for the Assassin in terms of clear, in terms of mobility. She's able to get into the purple buff, getting out of there as well, without using ultimate, without using any of that.
I mean, Ling is just one of those heroes that's really hard to kind of like, to balance out because of how much is in that kit. It's just universally good. And now as they contest for the space at this stage of the game, for Vival, it's a pretty straightforward answer. All I gotta do is keep on stealing these camps and cleaning up bad trades across the map, and this game should be in the bag before I know it.
Na'Vi hold control over it, but Vival has a 2-level lead, so it comes down to the red tree battle again. Vivian gonna provide some poke right now. It's from Mieko's trying to zone Ayanami. It's Keishi holding on to the neutral objective. Vivian goes for the kick, but baits out the heavy spin. Now it's Vival looking for the opening, goes in again, and the rinse out the red tree. Around with the play to Lynx, over on Vival. She's gonna be able to dive in with the Fine Blade. Tempest of Blaze now knocking him off, and oh, it's all the Blaze picked up by Vival.
They have to kite together, unfortunately. Not Ayanami can only do so much now that the rest of her backline is already out. Rain as the anchor again. They have to understand who is the anchor of the composition. If you're not playing around your anchor and you're splitting away from them, I get it if it's a Tempest of Blades. I get it if it's a Fatal Links. But if not, why not? And I think that Ayanami at this point needs to communicate to the rest of the team. Look, I'm the only one who has the lead right now. If you want Rian to get these kills, we have to play traditional front to back.
Good escape for Ayanami. They will have to do that, but it's so scattered. The way Na'Vi want this fight to be is pure front to back. Vitality are attacking from angles that Na'Vi are just not expecting. And it's really difficult for Rian to land those shots.
I mean, I think what's worse is that now that they don't have to worry about their mid laner not having, well, inbuilt Purify, they have access to Flicker. It becomes that much more difficult, right? And not only do I have to get rid of your battle spell, but I also have to get rid of your ult on top of that. It's just a consistent level of problems that Na'Vi can't force out all at once, but over a period of time. In terms of the gold so far, Ling coming up big at 1,000 gold so far, and that's already pretty good. Again, you can see that even Vivian just man-to-man defense, making sure that they have plenty of information on what's going on. Giving up the waves, and Rian should die here, but doesn't get that last auto attack down. We see that Mirai, they want to, but they back away.
I can't believe it. That amount of damage at 6 minutes for a carry with just 1 assist.
I was questioning it as well. I mean, I was thinking that maybe the Rian would be able to get out or at least create enough distance, but I think just too many procs, right? Too many triggers, that passive.
And you have to take a look at Vivo. She's been having a nasty game of Farm Simulator right now. I mean, she's taking away the bot wave, the mid wave as well. It's double aiding, but on the jungle. She's gonna go to the bottom lane now. Na'Vi set their sights on the turtle, and it seems like Vitality don't care.
Can they drag this out? I mean, Sydney still hasn't used the Searing Torrent just yet. They don't mind. Have the second one. We're gonna walk away from this. We want to make sure that at least Vivil's in a disgustingly good position.
2-level advantage. Purple buff about to come back up here. On the other side for Na'Vi, it is finally their first neutral objective of the game. And in the bottom lane, it's just Vivo clearing out, trying to get those items, trying to get enough gold to assassinate these backliners, mainly Rian on the Granger.
And I think they're going to get very close to doing so here, as Vival is already in a really good position overall. Despite the score being 2-2, a majority of that lead is in her hands, in her bank, in a matter of fact, as Keishi slowly falls behind. This should turn that 3-level lead that Vival has back down into a 2, but a play being forced by Vival on Forge from Vivian. She gets punished, Rain pulls her back.
Fumieko next to the chopping block right now with the Crimson Beacon and a heavy spin. She gets the penalty zone, but now lifted up. A bit of the heavy spin helping her out as well, but Rian finally gets on board with her first stack of the Sky Piercer, all of them low. Vival nowhere to be seen, just going to go for the safe turret down below.
Definitely think she could have picked up the kills there, but again, don't want to risk the shutdown overall. Let's look at the gold distribution overall, and it looks like, yeah, a lot of it come, not only half of them coming from the minions, a large chunk coming in from the jungle creeps itself. The passive goal is going to be dedicated to be the same, but I mean, with 2 kills already, 400 gold in the bank, it's going to be pretty difficult for Keishi to actually catch back up because he does not want, she does not want the kills. Oh wait, play, flicker coming out of rain, no way of the dragon now.
Oh my god, that damage, Vival knows. There's no way for Rian to escape even with the Purify. That's the killing spree for Vival. Rian unable to escape.
I mean, there's nothing that she can do about it, right? If you have Flicker, you die anyways. You have that Purify despite the way of the dragon. You can reposition, I suppose, but not when 2 people are attacking you. At least not Ayanami was able to get the tier 1 down bottom side before this Lord spawn actually occurs. If you notice, you see that Shell is actually hovering around that top side. She doesn't see anybody. She's going to steal away the orange buff and maybe even farm another wave up top side.
Oh my god, it just built up frustration. First it was the purple buff taken by Vival, now it's the orange buff taken by Chels. He deals with the wave up top, trying to build that slow push. And at the end of the day right now, Na'Vi are still going to have to play that front to back. They're going to have to play for Mrs. President, who's Rian right now, like Vivian. Opening up, wave up top, already shoved in by Vitality.
I think you mean Madam President at that point, but
Madame.
I think at this stage, yeah, they don't really need this Lord. They can start taking away turrets kind of for free. Freya shows topside, and I think it's pretty free for Vitality. Whatever you want, you can take.
That's the Lord secured by Vitality. Penalty zone by Fumieko. Now it's Vivo just waiting for the heavy spin. She's such a patient killer.
Yeah, they haven't lost too much composure.
At
now,
9 minutes?
Yeah, endless battle. Wait, Zipper, pull up the item list real quick. Is that second item or third item? I'm pretty sure it's third.
It's third.
Dang, that is fast. That is so fast. And now, usually you would expect at least towards, like, 10 minutes of the game, a couple of components, a Haskell on top of the Berserker's Fury, but now that he's got both, and triple items for Chell as well, like, this game is starting to look pretty good for Vitality if they want to hold up that trophy.
3,000 gold lead. Now add a bit more spice. It's an Ice Queen 1 against Navi's composition. It was already... I mean, this Vincere is already a big problem for them. Now you add that slow.
It's going to be difficult for Mirai or not Ayanami. I think the only way is if not Ayanami and Mirai come in from two separate angles. Worst comes to worst, you got to at least sacrifice the heavy spin. Now, they're just dealing with the waves. One by one, they're going to cut it down. Even Rain getting Ice Queen 1 for herself at this stage, but they can't walk out of their base comfortably. And the oppression from Vitality is going to make sure that, hey, this lead, this simple 3K lead is slowly going to develop into roughly, I would give 7 to 8K, depending on whether or not they find another fight.
Shoutouts to chat, pointed it out. I just read it out. But Vivo got level 15 at 950 on the dot. Massive gold advantage, an even bigger XP advantage. Keishi's 3 whole levels down.
This is a dangerous game to be around here. And Navi, they haven't been too proactive on the map. They've been waiting for the protocols, and worse yet, they have no real answer to Vival because they can't force anything out of her. They have to attack other members and force Vival to come to them, and even then, might not be enough resources. That big snowball we were hoping for Rian on that Sky Piercer has not come into fruition. And yet, we are still hoping that not Ayanami can somehow clutch a fight somewhere, somehow get him low, and let Rian finish them off. I'm just worried whether or not Keishi will be able to withstand the raw damage, not only from just Cine, but Chell, because she is clutching these fights.
And the fact that Rian, the only Sky Piercer stack she got, it was instantly cut down by Vival. I mean, Vival's having a fantastic series, another fantastic game here on Ling. Really seems like she wants that finals MVP as well. She's able to close it out. Last time she got it was MWI 2022, the very first one.
There's one hell of an argument to be made here, honestly. But considering the team lineups, it makes so much sense. And even then, when we look at the item list so far, it's only going to get worse. Nearly done with the BOD as well. If this game could not be more brutal to show how undisputedly good Vitality is, Navi, we need to hear that answer sooner or later because this Lord could be a make it or break it already.
And look at this. In the previous games, they've had a Moskov to deal with the wave up top, but now they have a composition that is built for pure team fights. A composition that needed the neutral objectives. Fatal Links lands, but it's only onto Pumieko, not a penalty zone. Gets a Purify out, and that should be everybody going in. Pumieko taking low, able to flick around in safety. Vivian gets away the dragon. Now it's Vival with a tempest of play. Siphon straight. It's a double. It's a triple. And it's a maniac for Vival.
Come on. Just keep on fighting. Keep on fighting and give us what we are looking for as they are looking for the inhibitor first. They've got the wave. Rain, it's all up to you.
11-minute game for match point. Now in 13 minutes with no Crimson Beacon, Rain's gonna be shredded to pieces.
We're better to defend a kingdom than upon its own sacred ground. Paris belongs to the Golden Hornets tonight.